Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode recap and review. This time, episode 4 for Peacemaker. The first 3 episodes did drop last week. You guys let me know what were your thoughts on that. I do have a video on that as well that I'm going to leave down in the description in case you guys missed it. But today we are talking about episode 4. But before we do get into it today, make sure you guys are hitting that big thumbs up if you guys do like content like this. And if you guys like Peacemaker, please hit that big thumbs up because I'm liking it along the way. And I love talking these episodes with you guys. So show me some love, hit that big thumbs up. And if you guys want to join the Flix Talk family, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification down below today. All right, guys, let's get into episode 4 entitled The Choad Less Traveled. And I'll just say, I'll get it out of the way. I don't know if I said this on the last video. On the first 3 episodes, I'm loving these names that they're choosing for the episodes. I mean, it really encompasses and embodies Peacemaker, the characters all involved with Peacemaker to a T. Just having this funny dialogue and this funny writing for the titles. Mwah. James Gunn, I love it, dude. I love it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Feed me. Feed me. Alright, so this episode does lead directly off of episode 3, where we got to see some alien action going on, which is a cool little twist. I knew some villains were going to be involved, but it looks like we're having a whole swarm of them, no pun intended, with the Butterfly Project that looks like it's sweeping the world, man. And if we're going to get a little invasion of the body snatcher, sci-fi horror stuff going on, I want it done right, and I think the perfect guy to do it is James Gunn. I mean, once again, I had mentioned, and I'm sure you guys know, he has that trauma background, so he's definitely not new to this at all. He's definitely going to pop some gore in there, some weird creature feature stuff, so I can't wait to see what these next couple of episodes have in store. But this episode, episode 4, we do get some interaction going on with Murns and Chris, aka Peacemaker, and they are not some kind words, as Murns like, what the hell, dude? You're supposed to be a mercenary and you froze. The biggest part of what we're all trying to do, that moment you froze. Vigilante had to step in for you last episode. So next up we have Harcourt and Adebayo bumping heads. We see that Adebayo is definitely the odd character out, even though she is the daughter of Waller, who is a stern and, forceful woman and someone to be feared. Someone definitely to be feared, and they always bring her name up as much as they can in these episodes, just in case you forgot her in Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad. But Harcourt is definitely not liking her. I mean, she's like, why are you part of this crew? We all have our own skill set. I haven't seen yours. And when push came to shove about killing this other guy, you hesitated. You really hesitated in the last episode. Now, next scene, we are back at Peacemaker's father's house, and he's with Vigilante this time in plain clothes, and I thought that was a really, really funny scene, how all of this kind of plays out with the neighbor and whatnot. But the coolest part about that scene is that we get to see some more of the helmets in the layer, and not only that, guys, we get to see the white dragon suit. And racist or not, this suit looked kind of cool. I won't lie, this suit looked pretty damn cool. I mean, it did look sleek and it had horns, and I know the message itself as a whole, once you realize who this guy is, it's full of hate. It is very, very hate-filled, and you just really can't help but hate this guy because of his racist remarks and actions and past that you find out about later in this episode. But the suit looked kind of cool. I don't know. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments below. Did you guys think the white dragon suit looked kind of cool, or was it cheesy? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm wearing the devil hat, but the devil horns look kind of cool. And in that same scene, Peacemaker has a fun interaction. I thought it was fun. I mean, it's probably not fun to the neighbor, but the feeble old man definitely has some Batman banter for Peacemaker, and I thought that shit was hilarious. Once again, adding to the James Gunn writing. Mwah, perfection. All right, now next up, and I knew it. I called it. I had talked about this with other people. Judo Master is still alive. They were going to kill him off that easy, you crazy? I mean, he's in the introduction theme song, man. So yeah, you're going to have him in here longer than they led on to be. And for that matter, I'm not mad at it because I actually kind of like Judo Master. I wanted to see what he could offer a little more to the screen. I'll just say that. That being said, they are kind of keeping him on life support after he sustained, some massive head trauma. And next up, when Peacemaker does find out that his dad was set up, he naturally just goes to go visit him and let him know the plan that he didn't know at all, that they were switching the fingerprints and they were putting the car in his name. And you know what? I really kind of felt for him in this scene because I think we all have family issues, from one extent to another, where at the end of the day, they are family. And I mean, you can pick and choose your friends, you can't pick and choose your family. So I understand that's good. Everyone's going to have a different response to me saying that because some family members have done them terribly wrong and they don't want anything to do with them. And in this case, I mean, he is a terrible father, but also there's that little ounce of compassion that I think we all have as compared to a stranger for a parent that's going down the wrong path or is a bad person, like in Peacemaker's situation. So once again, once he lets his dad know that he was pretty much set up from him and his crew, his dad doesn't take that shit too lightly, and he says, I'm gonna rat on you guys. The first second I get. All right, now next scene, guys, we get Judo Master versus Peacemaker, which I thought was pretty funny in the woods. Him versus Peacemaker and Vigilante in the woods. I think, well, even Harcourt too, for that matter. And once again, it just goes back to me wanting to see this kid in action more because I really liked what I saw in that last episode. So we got a cool parking lot fighting scene. I thought it was pretty cool. It actually showed a little more display from Peacemaker in the wrestling department as far as like the moves go. I definitely saw some arm locks and kind of throwing, moves, things that you would see in wrestling, WWE. And right as we're coming to the end of our fight, Judo Master says, you have no idea. Butterflies aren't what you think they are. And Adebayo shoots Judo Master. Was not expecting that at all, but she took the shot. It ended up going like right through him, it looked like. I mean, I don't know if that's a kill shot or not. We find out later in the episode. They're really trying to get him on life support or keep him alive just because he has a lot of information to give. But, they bash his brains in. They freaking shot him. I mean, if he survives through this damn thing, this guy is... he has more than just judo powers, I will say that. Now, next up, I thought we got a pretty cool scene where Adebayo is talking to Vigilante and she plants the seed that Peacemaker's father needs to be taken out. And I knew exactly what she was doing. There's no way she could play dumb in this situation. And I actually thought it was pretty genius because she knows, everybody knows, Peacemaker knows, that when Peacemaker's in trouble or needs help, Vigilante is gonna come running, man. He has this weird obsession with Peacemaker, even though along this episode, they're getting a little more friendly. I liked seeing that. I like seeing that because Vigilante could only be kicked around so much, and it's like, man, I'm actually starting to like this character a lot. Peacemaker, show him a little acknowledgement, my friend. Like, have a little one-on-one conversation, and they did. In the car, they had some good dialogue, and it seems like Peacemaker is definitely easing up along these episodes to Vigilante. Now, next up, we get to see that Peacemaker was lying about shooting that butterfly in that cave or wherever it was, an underground lair back at that mansion. He's keeping the butterfly secret in a jar, which I thought was probably the kind of smartest, but also, I mean, you got a target on your back now. People are going to be after this thing, but it's like you want to know what this thing contains. You want to dissect this thing, like literally, see what it's made of, see what makes it tick. And I wouldn't want, that's like having gold. I would not want that out of my sight. Also, I thought we got a touching scene with Harcourt and Adebayo, and Adebayo's really feeling bummed out because she thinks that she possibly killed Judo Master. I mean, I thought she did initially, but it seems like he's still on life support, or they kind of have him hooked up to this IV drip to keep him alive. So I think he's maybe stable, but he could possibly die from sustaining this wound that she did give him with the gunshot. So she's dealing with that, and she's not really taking it too well. Harcourt has kind of a heart-to-heart with her and lets her know it's not going to get easier. Every kill, it hurts, it sucks, and it's painful, and what you're going through is not going to change. So they kind of have, at first they had a lot of disagreements and stuff like that, and they were butting heads and whatnot, but it seems like they're kind of understanding each other a little bit more. At least Harcourt is understanding Adebayo a little more, and I like that. I like to see growth from these characters. All right, then we cut to probably one of the most awesome scenes, for me at least, for me, in this episode, guys, is Vigilante walking through the halls of this prison as he purposely sent himself to jail, the same jail as the White Dragon and his Aryan minions, to get revenge, or not even get revenge, but just to take out the White Dragon. And At first, I mean, if you really think about it, how is this one man? We haven't seen him too much in action take on multiple people. But in this scene, we see him take on multiple Aryans and he is holding his own. He's kicking ass and taking names. And I was like, okay, Vigilante, man, you are the man for the job for something like this to this magnitude. So we do see that the fight that's about to happen between White Dragon and Vigilante is stopped, guys, because the guards come in and point their guns at them, tell them to get on their knees. And that's that. Peacemaker's squad kind of calls in and gets him out of there as soon as possible. But once again, an awesome scene. It just makes me like this Vigilante character a lot more. All right, now next up, guys, probably the most emotional scene in this episode. We get our flashback with Peacemaker and his father at such a young age. Peacemaker looked like something like maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. And it shows Peacemaker having to kill for his father. Now, I don't know if this is his first kill. It really seems like it. I mean, with the music, with the emotion going on, all the mannerisms from young Peacemaker. This looked like his first kill, guys, as we see that he stabs this guy multiple times. And man, that once I saw that, I was like, this is the reason for your deep-seated issues, my friend, you know, and he knows it. I mean, we all kind of know what's deep, dark inside, and especially, you know, he's drinking, he's smoking, he's letting all the emotions flood out, you know, he's falling on the floor. And I thought it was a beautiful scene. I mean, beautifully dark. Yeah, but we get to learn more about the past of Chris, aka Peacemaker. Also in that same flashback, we get to see his brother who falls to the floor, you know, backwards, hits his head and starts to convulse. Now, I know this isn't shown, guys, but I'm only alluding to future episodes. Possibly we could see that flashback scene, or they're going to talk about that flashback scene. And I believe that Peacemaker was possibly the reason for his brother falling, hitting his head and going into convulsions. Possibly they were fighting as siblings do, and there was an accident. That's the only thing. Or possibly the father could have done it by accident as well. But if you guys remember earlier in the episode, the father really favored the older brother way more than Peacemaker. And I think if White Dragon was responsible for the killing of his older son, I think he would have let it be known a little more emotionally if it was his fault. But I think because he harbors so much hatred towards Peacemaker, I believe he holds Peacemaker responsible. Once again, I haven't seen future episodes yet, but that's just kind of my theories on that. And next up, the most shocking scene and our twist in this episode, guys, episode 4. Murn's is a butterfly. At first, I was wondering why he was watching Lethal Weapon 3 or 4. I don't know which one. He was watching a Lethal Weapon movie, and he was just staring at it like, you know, really stone face. And at first, I was like, okay, he is Waller. He's a male version of Waller, so he has a lot of hatred. You know, he's stressed out because of his wacky bunch of misfits. So, I mean, yeah, that would stress me the hell out too. No one's listening. I mean, you're trying to be a leader. No one is listening. Everyone's messing up the plans, right? But then we find out he's actually an alien. He's a butterfly, guys. I mean, he has that parasite inside of him. We see his tongue come out and he's drinking his, I don't know, cereal, soup, whatever, something in a bowl. And we end our episode 4. Probably the most detailed episode, I will say, as the first 3 are definitely building up to a mission at hand and character development. Now we're already with our characters. Now we're seeing a lot more backstory from these characters. Not only the flashback, but also, you know, what Vigilante is willing to do for Peacemaker. Also the dynamic between Harcourt and Adebayo. I mean, once again, like I had explained before, guys, they were button heads. Now they're kind of coming to some kind of agreement. They're all working together as a team, and I like seeing that. So we only have 3 episodes left, guys. So we got to start wrapping things up as far as where do we go from here. Are we going to get White Dragon fighting the Peacemaker? Are we going to get some butterfly fights? You guys let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your theories. And how did you guys enjoy episode 4 overall. Let me know once again in the comments below. And for that reason, let me know your favorite part of episode 4. I'd love to hear it. All right, guys. And if you guys did appreciate my recap and review, let me know by liking the video. It's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification today as I break down these episodes every week. So I'll be back next Thursday, guys, for your Peacemaker episode 5 recap and review. And before you guys leave, click the links down in the bio if you want to shoot me a follow on my social medias. All right, guys, till next video, I'm gone. Peace.